Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Football Fallout. I am probably the only crazy person I know that watches every single play of every single game of every single week of the NFL season. I do this for my readers of the Fantasy Football Almanac. I'm also putting it out there for you so that you can find those daily fantasy sleepers and those waiver acquisitions. Today we are talking about the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets, Week 1 opening division game. I got to be honest with you, it was a hard one to watch. Buffalo just came out so rusty. You got to credit a little bit the New York Jets for forcing as many turnovers. It is a staple of Greg Williams' defenses. And then McDermott also has a strong defense on the Buffalo side going over there. He's very, very good. And I'm sure he'll continue to be good as well. So from a fantasy point of view, look, Josh Allen is growing as a quarterback. He did make some mistakes. I think a couple of the turnovers were fluky type turnovers. I don't think you can expect that every week. Certainly, I would hope not. 4 turnovers in the first half. That's rough. But from Buffalo's offensive attack, I think the player that really stood out was Devin Singletary. 4 rushes, 70 yards. They weren't fluky rushes. It's not like he got 60 yards on one run or anything like that. He had a couple of big plays open up, and that's what you get from explosive players. Expect the Bills to go in heavier on Singletary, and as well they should. If they don't, then they're idiots, frankly. Frank Gore, I think, will be okay. He's more of a short yardage back, a change of pace, but this is Singletary's show, and I think he's going to run with it. At receiver, they're still waiting on Tyler Kroft to come back at tight end, so you don't need to go looking at, I think it's Sweeney, whoever the rookie tight end is. You don't really need him. John Brown did quite well, but I think he got lucky getting in the end zone, frankly. I don't see him doing that weekly. I think Zay Jones will offer you a nice big play opportunity, but he's more of a daily fantasy sleeper. And then Cole Beasley, he was targeted quite a bit. They kind of went away from him in the second half. He didn't make some of the plays that he should have made. I think he came out a little bit flat as well, but I look for him to rebound. So fantasy fallout for Buffalo, put in a waiver claim on Devin Singletary. If by some miracle he's available for you in your league, he shouldn't be, but if he is, put a waiver claim on him immediately. From the receiving point of view, John Brown, I think he's okay. But more of a daily fantasy guy. Josh Allen, he's ascending, but I don't think he's a weekly starter in fantasy circles yet. So put a waiver claim on him if you're really desperate, or if you're in a deeper league or maybe a dynasty league. But really, he's more of a daily fantasy play. And then Cole Beasley, I think weekly will be a little bit more consistent for PPR leagues. So there you go from Buffalo's point of view. And by the way, Buffalo's defense might still be out there. For some reason, they continue to be underrated and forgotten about in NFL circles. They're a real defense. They've been fantastic for a few years now, and they will continue to be so. So you can invest in the Bills. Just don't play them when they play the Patriots, okay? For the Jets, now Sam Darnold had opportunities in this game. Unfortunately, he missed them. I think we can finally put to rest the Sam Darnold is going to lead the Jets to the playoffs this year. He was catching a lot of hype earlier in the preseason. He's ascending as well, but he's still very, very young. He's going to need some time. Adam Gase will call plays. He'll get him going. Adam Gase has been very successful with quarterbacks throughout his career, and Sam Darnold will be no exception there. But, he doesn't need to be a daily fantasy or a fantasy starter, in my opinion, until he proves a little bit more. He had Robbie Anderson deep a couple of times, and he missed him. At least once probably would have been a touchdown. That's unfortunate. But, Robbie Anderson owners, you can be patient. Hold on to him. The Jets' passing attack will resurface, and it'll be a little bit stronger. Le'Veon Bell, it was really good that he played 100% of the snaps. I was curious to see how often they'd rest him, and the Jets didn't. They put him right to work, and as well they should. He's a very, very good player, and he's going to be a very, very good player for your fantasy team. The only problem is until Sam Darnold can push the ball downfield and be a little bit more accurate with his passes and complete some of those balls, the defenses are going to move up and tighten Le'Veon Bell's rushing attack. And David Johnson's been dealing with the same thing in Arizona for the last couple of years as well. Le'Veon Bell will be good. He'll be utilized in the passing game just like David Johnson's good. But until Sam Darnold can really push the ball downfield, he's going to be limited. Receiver, Jamison Crowder's the real deal. If he's on waivers, put a waiver claim in on him if you're in a PPR league. I think he's going to be used similarly to how Jarvis Landry was used when he was in Miami with Adam Gase. And I think Jamison Crowder will continue to get those 10-catch, 100-yard type games, and eventually he'll find the end zone as well. So that'll be really nice, especially in PPR leagues. Quincy Enunwa, he was kind of a non-factor. He was somebody that I thought would be a sleeper because I liked his chemistry with Sam Darnold early last year. I'm going to bail on him, frankly. There's a lot of receivers coming out like McLaurin, Deshaun Jackson's going to be available in a lot of leagues. Certainly Marquise Brown, these kinds of guys. There's better. You can do better. Wait until Darnold and Enunwa prove it on the field before investing in them any further. And the Jets defense, by the way, those 4 turnovers. That's a lot of turnovers for a game. They're not going to do that every week, but Greg Williams forces turnovers with this defensive scheme. They blitz a lot. They're very aggressive. They will get turnovers. Will they find the end zone every week? I don't know. They're not going to get a safety every week. They're not going to get you those bonus points of actually putting points on the scoreboard, but they will be a viable defense, especially in daily fantasy. They're going to be cheap week to week. So there you go. There's the fantasy football fallout. Check us out for another episode. Like us, subscribe, comment. We'll be interactive. Thanks.